job. I was like asking
Okay.
around and then asking my friend in school how they get their jobs, how am I going to get the jobs? And they're telling me, go just to the shops and ask. And at that time, there was no like send your CV online. It's like you go there, they
Uh-huh.
give you the application form, you fill the form and you bring it. And it's
Uh-huh.
the only time they will know you don't speak English, just when you come to the interview.
All right. So how was your first interview?
Oh
How was
my
your first
God.
interview?
I think she was asking me the question and I was giving her back the same question.
You must be kidding, Binta.
Yes. So every time she asks me a question, I repeat the same thing she says, and then with a smile on my face. And then she will say, I'll call you. I said, yeah, thanks. I know you're not going to call me, but it's fine. So yeah. And surprisingly is that my first job is somebody from West Africa gave me the job, like somebody I met in the bus, and they were just
Okay.
like chatting. And they said, listen,
Mm.
I just got this job here. So if you I could speak to the manager. And then I said, oh, that would be great because my mom only gave me a year. If I don't get a job, she will not help me with my fees anymore. And they said, yeah. And
Uh-huh.
then he took my phone number. He called me, he took me to the manager. And luckily the manager speaks French because he's from Ivory
Right.
Coast. And then
Uh-huh.
he realized I was really desperate and then I really needed a job. And then he just gave me the job there without any interview or anything like that.
Oh, you're so lucky. Binta, you are from a French-speaking country in Guinea, and
Yeah.
you're here in the UK. So tell us about your journey, your expectations when you are leaving your country to the UK, knowing that you don't speak English or you speak limited English, and how did you really make it here? How did it feel?
Hi, everybody. Thank you for watching us again. First of all, I wasn't speaking any English, like a zero English, like nothing. So
Uh-huh.
every time I try to speak, I feel like something is in my stomach, and I wanna be sick or something because I don't know how to express myself. And then luckily,
Uh-huh.
my brother who was here before me, so I
Mhm.
was relying on him a lot. Like whatever I'm supposed to do, he tried to help me, and then
Mhm.
he just went from there really. But in the beginning, it was really hard because you have to remember I came here. I think I was 21 or 22, and
Mhm.
I came from my parents' home, and then trying to get my independence, and then also you have to remember that in Africa, we young girls in Africa, you live at your parents' home until you get married. Until you leave, you get married. You
Yeah.
don't even live by yourself unless you are in European country. That's the only way. So I was terrified. I was scared. I was nervous. I had every feeling that you could think of. I just didn't know how to put them in one place.
Oh,
So
uh-huh.
yeah, but luckily my brother was here, and then some few friends I knew of since Africa in college. We went to college together, so they were here too. So that helped me a lot. And then also because I had my brother here, and then I'm gonna start learning English because I didn't speak in any English, even though we went to
Uh-huh.
school where we could learn English. But when you come from
Yeah.
a speaking French country, you said, "Oh, when I'm gonna use English? I'm never gonna use English. I wasn't interested in the course."
How did you really feel? Like you're leaving your country, you're leaving your parents, and normally you should stay with your parents until you get married. But obviously, because of your studies, you had to leave and come here to the UK. So, how was that transition moment of like, I'm leaving my parents, I'm going to the UK? How did it feel? Did you feel like, should I go, should I not? How did your parents also feel like? their daughter is actually going somewhere and
I
she's
think
so
the
young.
bad part was my dad. My dad, because my dad and I were very close. We still close, but
Mhm.
and then also I wasn't worried about the independent part because when I was in my country, I was quite. My mom was giving me already loads of responsibility at home with my brothers, so I was. In that part, I knew how to take care of myself. I knew how what responsibility it is because my mom was already teaching me these things. I was already
Mhm.
responsible for my brothers,
So
for
your mom had prepared you. Your mom had already prepared you to be independent before you
yeah.
actually traveled.
Yeah, so she will travel a lot, my mom, and then she will just let me run the house with my brothers and sister because I was the oldest daughter, not the oldest kid, but the oldest daughter. So she will just,
Yeah.
I was taking care of my brothers and sister, and I was taking care of my dad. I was taking care of the house, even still going to school. So I had that type of responsibility already set in me. So that wasn't worried for me. The only worried was is the responsibility of financially and then that independence I never had. Yes, I had independence in Africa, but with
Mhm.
the permission of my parents, and
Yeah.
they were there to take decision for me. I wasn't worried about taking any difficult or important decision. I have my parents to do that. But now I'm coming to a country where, first of all, I don't speak the language. I don't know the
Mhm.
country. I don't know anybody apart from my brother. So now I have to do everything for myself. I have to take myself to the hospital if I'm sick. I have to do my own
Mhm.
shopping. I have to
Mhm.
I have to take myself anywhere I want to go without the help of my parents or the help of somebody, a member of my family, which for me was really scary.
Tell me that feeling of being in a new country when you don't speak the language. I know you say you mentioned that you had your brother here, but I don't believe that. Sorry, you had your brother here, but I assume you are not going with your brother everywhere, anywhere you're going. Sometimes you had to go on your own. So
Yeah.
how was that feeling of being on your own? You have maybe to negotiate for something. You have to buy something in the shop. You have to go somewhere. Tell me that feeling and how is it when
It
you
was
can't really speak the language?
it was
Right.
really scary. It was really scary. When I came, my brother, the first thing my brother told me is how to take the bus because I was living in London
Okay.
with him, and then how
Yeah.
to take the bus from my house and from college, and then
Yeah.
where to go to buy food, how to buy my bus ticket. You know those little important things, and then
Yeah.
and also the number of in case of the emergency, those things that I need to know. So soon I
Mm,
learned the bus from my house to school. I was okay,
mm,
and I learned the bus from the shopping center, and then from my
mhm.
house I started getting a little bit of confidence. But the first thing my brother used to tell me all the time, if you get in the bus,
Mm.
sit upstairs higher so you could learn the street and the road so you could remember them.
You're always up high.
so you could observe and remember where you're going. So if you do that, you won't get lost. So I start doing that
Mhm.
every time I get in the bus. I just sit on the top so I can like watch the roads and learn the streets, see things that I will remember in case I get lost and things like that. But
Mhm.
I think my brother I think he just followed me for a couple of, like maybe a week. After that, he just told me, just get on with it. If you get lost, you got my phone number, call me, and then
Mhm.
I help you. I tell you where you are. Oh, you are your friend. Always stay around your friends so you know you all are in together, like in this together, so you could just help each other. So basically, that's why,
So
because there was
you.
a lot of international students at the time when we came. There was a lot of us who don't speak English, loads of us.
Mm. So did you get lost? Because I did.
Oh
My
yeah.
first experience, I got lost on a bus and I couldn't speak the language, and the driver expected me to be speaking the language, but I couldn't.
Yeah, I got lost like loads of time. I have a friend who every time she get lost, she just call the police, and the police will take her all the way home. Yes, I get lost a lot. I get lost a
So what
lot.
did you
And
do when
sometimes
you
I
were
just
lost?
miss my stop, and then the bus will take me far. And then all I do is just cross the road, take the same bus, and then go back the same road I came. And then I would say, "Oh yes, this is where I'm supposed to stop." So yeah, you just learn. You just learn. It's like struggling. You just learn, and it was really stressful and scary. I was
Yeah.
very scared for some reason because I don't know this country. I don't know the people. I don't know how they're gonna react to me. I was really scared.
Mm.
But the fact that I had my friends that I knew before in Africa, and I had my brother, it made things not a little bit easier. Not like easy, just a little bit easier. Yeah.
Mm. So what about culture differences? I understand you are with your brother, but probably you didn't have most of the people from your country. In terms of culture, missing your language, missing your food, missing your people, and missing, yeah. So how did you cope with that? I
Oh
mean,
my
knowing that you're not.
God. The food part, because I was cooking, I was cooking most of the time for my brother and I and his friends because we were living all together. And there were a
Mm,
few things I was missing in my country in type of food that I didn't know how to cook. So I used to like call my, I
mm,
said, "Oh, I missed this dish, I missed that dish." My mom used to say, "But you don't even eat that dish when you were here." I said, "Yes, now I want to eat it. I missed it." And then I will tell her to
mm,
tell me how to make it. And then I will just go to the African shop. And then I asked my brother, say, "Show me where all the African shops are." And then soon he
okay.
he showed me those shops. That's where I was going shopping. So I would go and buy all these African spices and things that I know. And then I'll bring it and I make some food. I think for me,
Mm,
I don't. When it comes to the food outside, I'm not keen. Still today, I can barely even have it like a buy like a ready-made food in a shop to eat. I want to know what I'm eating. So it's been
mm,
very important for me that what I'm eating, I want to know how it's made. I want to know who cooked it. Just something that I struggle with. So I don't buy takeaways or stuff like that a lot. No, every time I wanna eat, I just make food, or if I wanna eat, I go to a nice place and then I sit down and have a nice food. But as an
mm,
international student, you got a little bit of money. You don't want to spend. You don't have money to spend, so you have to watch every
mhm,
penny you spend it. So that's why we're
mhm.
just gonna cook like a big pot of food, and then we put it in the fridge, and then we try to eat that for the
Yeah,
whole week. It felt
yeah.
like an adventure, but a bit
Of
of
course.
scary.
So what is that thing that shocked you that you didn't expect to see when you came here?
I'm not saying shocked, but I think the freedom people have that
Mm-hmm.
I know I see these type of thing on movies and entertainment that I see on TV, but like in reality, I wasn't surprised, but I was shocked the way people were very like free to do whatever they want or say whatever they want
Right.
because that's
Mm-hmm.
not we. I was raised as African woman in Africa, and then
Mm-hmm.
so it's like it's that independent they had so much that it scared me because even though I know I wasn't living with my parents anymore, I could go out anytime and come back anytime I want, but I still wasn't
Mm-hmm.
doing it. I feel like if I do it, my brother's gonna tell me off, or my mom's still gonna tell me off, even though she's in Africa or something like that. So it's to
Mm-hmm.
learn how to be independent, and then also just let it go, like let that like I don't know how to say it, like asking somebody permission to do things, like start doing things for that I want to do without worrying about if my mom or my parents gonna say something about it. I think that shocked me a little bit because it's something
Mm-hmm.
that we that's not how we were raised. So yeah.
So basically, you saw young people of your age at the time doing something that you wouldn't maybe imagine of doing, that you were scared of doing. That's because maybe of culture differences.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's a
So you're
cultural
like,
differences, yeah, and the religion too. because I'm Muslim,
really?
so there is things that we're not allowed to do as a Muslim woman and as a Muslim person. So I knew that, and then I will never cross those lines. The freedom and the independence they have, that they could do whatever they want. That really, it just I struggle with that a lot in the beginning. Really struggle with that, because even when I'm looking for a job, I'm looking for a job in an expect that, or if I'm doing this job, my parents will not get upset that I'm doing that job. I know it's not like a bad
Oh,
like a bad job or something like that, but any job, because I never worked where I could get paid something like that. That was the first. That's something that it was hard. It wasn't hard, but it was a first. And then I said, "Oh wow, I'm getting a job. I'm gonna get paid for this job." So that it was excited, but I felt like I need to ask my parents. If you know my parents, you need to get a job to pay for your rent, and then to pay half of your study, and then how am I gonna look for a job? I never looked for a job in my life, so I don't know where to start. I don't speak the language. Where to go? Where to ask? You see?
so tell me that journey of looking for a job when you actually can't speak the language, can't speak English, but you still had to work here,
You
doing
just have to look
student
for a
job
job
and so
where
on.
they don't ask you to speak a lot of English in the beginning.
Right. That application process, that interview, if you had to tell me that feeling.
Oh, luckily, I spent 6 months before I lived in the UK, 6 months before I get my first job. I was like asking
Okay.
around, and then asking my friend in school how they get their jobs, how am I gonna get the jobs, and they're telling me go just to the shops and ask. And at that time there was no like a send your CV online. It's like you go there, they give you the application form, you fill the form and you bring it. And it's the only time they will know you don't speak English, just when you come to the interview.
All right. So how was your first interview?
Oh
How was
my
your first
God.
interview?
I think she was asking me the question and I was giving her back the same question.
You must be kidding, Binta.
Yes. So every time she asks me a question, I repeat the same thing she says, and then with a smile on my face. And then she will say, I'll call you. I said, yeah, thanks. I know you're not going to call me, but it's fine. So yeah, and surprisingly is that my first job is somebody from West Africa gave me the job, like somebody I met in the bus, and they were just
Okay.
like chatting. And they said, listen, I just got this job here. So if you I could speak to the manager. And then I said, oh, that would be great, because my mom only gave me a year. If I don't get a job, she will not help me with my fees anymore. And they said, yeah. And then he took my phone number, he called me, he took me to the manager. And luckily the manager speaks French because he's from
Right.
Africa. And then he realized I was really desperate and then I really needed a job. And then he just gave me the job there without any interview or anything like that.
Oh, you're so
So I
lucky.
had my first job there and I was really excited. I didn't even slept all night. I was so excited to go do my first job. It wasn't fancy or anything. It's like a cleaning job, but it's a place where people, everybody speak English and you interact with people. And but I really liked that he trusted me and then took a chance on me and gave me that job, because he knew that I think he realized I was a hardworking person, that I'm not scared of the job. I could do whatever job as long as it's a job that doesn't involve like disrespecting myself or my culture. I will do the job. So yeah, and then I did the job, and then it was my first
So
job. I was very grateful.
did you still have to ask for permission from your parents if you may take the job or not?
No, no, I just say, as long as I'm making the money, that's all it's matter. So it's net. So that's good. But I was
Oh,
still asking them how to spend my money. My mom was telling me, spend this on your rent, spend this on, save this for your study, and pay for this. So I was exactly doing this. It's like it felt like I was living both country in one place.
Oh
So
my
I didn't
goodness.
know how to separate them and then try to be myself, because I was very
Right.
a timid person. I was very, I obey my parents. I have a great respect and obey my parents. So I was just trying to find myself and then try not to be shy anymore and try to stand up for myself more, try to make my own decision and then stand up for them. And it was really hard because I'm living now two cultures. So how can I include those two cultures and still not lose my identity? So that's where I was struggling the first few years when I was a student in the
So
UK.
when did you finally become independent, knowing that this is me, Binta, this is my money, and this is how I'm gonna spend it without consulting anybody? When did that happen? Oh.
It took couple of years before that happened. But when I was going to university, and then my parents and I were talking, I said, listen, I saved this money to go to university. I think I don't think so, even when I need the help, I said, that's the cost I'm gonna do. This is the money I save. I'm gonna spend it, and then I want to move from UK and then move to Cardiff, because London was getting very stressful and too busy for me, and I wasn't finding myself. I felt like I was getting swallowed up in the full of London. So I wanted to get out of this. I made the decision to leave London, and my mom wasn't happy because every person I know lives in London, and I didn't know anybody in Cardiff, but I knew of Cardiff from a friend. So that was one of the biggest decision I made, leaving, like a decision that I took myself, packed my things, did everything without the help or the support of anybody. So I was finding myself, and every time I find myself, I do more things. Every time I find myself, I explore more things. I start to travel more. I start to make more decisions for myself. I start to take chances on myself a lot. So it was really liberating to feel that way. And then, yeah.
Exciting thing again that you like, especially when after making your own decisions and so on. How did life feel like?
Oh, it felt amazing. It really felt amazing. And I started making more decisions for myself, which was really great. Like I started looking for, like, when I came here, looking for my first place for myself, by myself. And I was making, because you have to remember, even those decisions, looking for a place, I have to like speak with my mom, or like say, oh my God, I don't know, how am I going to look for this place? How am I going to look this house? So I start calling her less, and then I start making more decisions for myself more. And then the phone calls start to reduce extremely, which even when I started to date my husband, I was still in a phase where, oh my gosh, should I ask my parents, or should I? Yeah, because
That's an interesting story.
yeah,
Okay.
like you got this thing back of your head that, oh my God, because as a Muslim, like, as a Muslim woman, you're not allowed to date, you're not allowed to have a boyfriend, they say, stuff like that. And it's something that my parents never, like, they know, like, straight. Even when I was in Africa, I had a boyfriend, but the boyfriend, you come, you sit next with your parents in the living room, you chat there, and they leave. They leave with your dad taking him out. You don't get out with him. You stay in the house. So you see, but and then, like, living with your boyfriend and things like that is something that was really, I was really nervous, that, and I was scared, because I said, I'm an independent woman in my 20s. This is my decision. I choose to do this. I shouldn't consult my mom or my parents for this. It's my mistake if whatever I do. It's not their mistake. It would be my mistake. I shouldn't. So when I told my mom that, she was a bit shocked, but she didn't react. Which I wanted to say, are you gonna react? Are you gonna say something? And then she didn't say anything. I said, oh wow, maybe I've been doing this thing in the wrong way. Maybe I'm the one who have a problem. She doesn't. maybe I've been raised too well. Maybe I should just take some things off and then just start living my life. And then, yeah,
Right.
it was really liberating when I started, when I start finding myself. For me, that's the main thing, because the thing is that when I was in Africa, I was very quiet, very shy. Whatever my
Mhm.
parents tells me, I do it. I never say no to anything. Maybe I'll go do this, yes. Go do that, yes. Don't do that, yes. I don't
Mhm.
questions. I don't try to find
Mhm.
an argument to it. And then
Mhm.
when I came to this country, I see my brother doing whatever he wants independently. He just was free. And
Mhm.
then it scares me, first of all, because I seen him doing them. And it scares me when I go out, I see people do it. And then I say, how do they
Mhm.
do these things? And when I start
Mhm.
to take those layers slowly, slowly, and I start finding myself, I never knew there was that person inside me who could speak up.
So you discovered yourself.
Yes,
You had a moment to discover yourself, to
yes, I have
discover that
aha moment.
strong girl in you.
Yes, I had an aha moment, because I was very timid when I was in, and then I just started to realize. I said, "Wow, I have a voice. I could stand up for myself. I could speak up for myself. I could do anything I want for myself. I don't need somebody to take me even to the hospital, because I was even scared going to the hospital. I have to say my mom to take me to the hospital. And then for me,
Mhm.
even taking myself to the hospital, when I asked my mom, I said, I need to go to the hospital, you have to take me. And my brother said, this is not Africa, take yourself to the hospital. And then I said to her, I said, but I never been to the hospital, Baba. You have to take me, or I'm going to call mom and tell him you not take me to the hospital. I said, you can call whatever you want. I'm not taking you to the hospital. So, so me going to the hospital by myself. And then I said, but I don't even know where the hospital is. Get a bus and find it
Mhm.
yourself. So I have to like take the bus and ask the bus driver, I'm going to this hospital. Is this bus gonna go there? I'm like sitting like nervous, scared. And when I find the hospital, I was so proud of myself. I said, wow, I could do this. I could do
Wow.
this. And then I
Yes.
move out of my brother's home, and then I find my own room, and then I just start finding myself slowly. So it's for me, it's a big deal, because I was really, really shy kid when I was in Africa. Really shy kid. I don't do anything without somebody telling me to do it. So for me, it was a big deal.
But before you discovered that strong lady in you, before you discovered yourself, you know, that moment you're here, you're new, and you have to really rely on your parents, and you have to accept literally everything. You have to say yes. There's no, and there's no why. So you had to accept everything. So how is it when you're like in this environment, when someone had to tell you something that you actually don't like, or you don't feel like doing? Did you also say yes without asking any question? How did that affect, and how did you change?
In the beginning, when somebody offend me or say something that I don't like, I just don't say anything. I just walk away, because I feel like if I have a confrontation with a fight, I have nobody to protect me. So I don't want to start something. I don't live in my family, just me and my brother. And my brother cannot be everywhere I am. So I
Of
wasn't
course.
speaking up for myself. I was
Mm-hmm.
just taking it. And then
Mm-hmm.
I was very disappointed on myself when I sit down and I said, wow, I could just say something, or I could just react, or maybe I could just tell that person, I don't like the way you spoke to me, or I don't like the way you treated me. But
Mm-hmm.
when I started doing that too, it just changed me completely, because I didn't know I have that voice inside me. And then I just
Mm-hmm.
start to speak up, and then I just start reacting to things that I don't like. And then I start telling people, if I don't like something, I tell them I don't like it. I don't know how it's coming, but I will say it. And then,
Mm-hmm.
but because I'm trying to find my voice, it's my first time finding my voice, things that were coming all over the place. So
Right.
I don't know. That's why they call it an angry black woman. Wish that's how it was coming. But
So while you're trying to do those things you didn't do in the past, you're like, I wish I knew this. Here I
yeah.
go.
So I was just like the hands and the face, the eyes were talking, everything, the reaction. and it was just
Right.
coming in the wrong way. So and then my brother kept saying, I know you want to talk, but I think you should ease up a bit and then talk. No, like just say it. And I said, but I
Mhm.
don't. I said, I understand you. And then I just started, and then I don't know, maybe because I was growing up without my parents, and then I was getting knowledge of myself, and then I just
Mhm.
started to speak up, but in a way where it doesn't come across as an angry black woman, like an
Mhm.
intellectual young black woman.
Right. I love that.
So which was really really nice, because you have to
Mhm.
remember, even when my first job I when I started my first job, people were saying I had a job because the person who was the manager was from West Africa, and that's why he gave me the job. I don't deserve the job. I said, there's nothing
Oh.
deserved in this job. It's a cleaning job. Everybody can do cleaning. I could do cleaning too. But because
Mhm.
he knew that I don't speak English, he was shadowing me more to help me come out of my shed. So he was helping me more to find my way around workplace, my way around whatever I'm gonna do. So he was a kind of a little bit of supportive, like a really helpful, like a little angel on the side who was there to help me, which he did a lot. And
Mhm.
so that helped me a lot. And then that's where I started to stand up for myself. When I start to learn English, I start to look
Mhm.
for more job where I could interact with people and then change in places. That's how I was going. Like now I'm speaking. Now I can express myself in English. Now I
Perfectly.
could find a job where no cleaning job, which I know there's nothing wrong doing a cleaning job, but I wanted to develop myself high more and more and more.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
start to look for something better, and then I start like moving forward and moving. I wasn't looking back, I was just moving forward, which was really good
Mhm.
for me.
Mm. Wow. That's an amazing journey of you, Binta.
Oh, it was fun and scary at the same time. And you have to
Mhm.
remember the culture difference, that's never going to change. I'm never going to change my cultures and the way I was raised just because I live in this country, because I like the way I was raised. I think I was raised really well, and I'm proud of the way I
Mhm.
was raised. So I'm
Mhm.
never going to change that. But I try to interact the both culture together and become myself, not somebody else. That's what
Perfect.
I did. So it doesn't
Mhm.
matter if I got a Christian friend, which most of my friends are Christian. But if they invited
Mhm.
me to a wedding, I'm still gonna go to that wedding. They respect my
Mhm.
culture. They know I don't eat pork, so they respect me when I go for dinner to them. They try to find something that I will eat. And then when we
Mhm.
go out, they still consider the stuff that I eat, because they know I don't eat the stuff they eat. So I have
Mhm.
that respect from, they respect my culture, I respect their culture. And it's never been
Mhm.
a problem, because every time I meet somebody and every time they want to know me, I tell them who I am and I tell them my culture. I'm not ashamed to say I'm come from West Africa. I am Muslim. So they know
Mhm.
where I come from and they know my religion, they know my culture. So they respect that. And then as long as
Right.
somebody respect that with and still be my friend, I think that's the
Mhm.
amazing thing, because if you don't tell people your culture and your religion
Mhm.
and who you are, how they gonna know to take you? They wouldn't know where to put you.
Yeah, and it's very important to respect each other's cultures because we all come from different. You know, even Africa. Africa is a continent. It is not a country. We have different cultures. We have, different values based on which countries we come from. So, and it's very important that we
It's very
respect each other's
important. And
culture.
then we thought we they teach us in Africa to respect different cultures in Africa. Because my family, that we are very diverse. We got all type of cultures in my religion in my family. So it's something I knew that already since I was growing up in Africa. It's not something I learned here, it's something I knew before. But when it comes to
Mm,
where it's like it's more than in your country. Like you take a step back and you start to figure out how you're gonna deal with things, because
mhm,
things are regardless how much you live in this country, there are some things that you're never gonna get used to. You're never gonna get
Yeah.
used
Like
to,
what?
regardless how long
Like
you live.
what?
I think
Like what? Like what thing?
like the freedom where young people have, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that like the young people in the when they're 18, the freedom they have. I'm 18, so I'm independent. I could do anything I want. We are 18 in
Yeah.
Africa. I, I don't have that type of freedom. I'll be still living with my parents, and I'll still be like, you know, that type. I
Mm.
think I'm still struggling with that. I think I'm still gonna struggle with that with my kids when they're gonna be
Uh-huh.
18. But I
When
think
they
we just have to
begin.
talk about it and see where we could just meet in the
Mm-hmm.
middle and try to figure out where I'm gonna be less understanding and more understanding. You see?
So tell me about balancing those cultures because your kids are mixed race. So they'll be at a certain age one day, and do you want West African culture to dominate? Do you want to create the balance? Do you want to, because they are mixed race, obviously, and they're born here.
Yeah.
And you have that culture that you think is so important to you, and you see that freedom that is so disturbing. So how do you really intend to?
Oh, it's hard. I'm
Because there's
telling
a
you.
different.
It's hard,
Huh?
especially now they're going to school and then they learn it. Like my kids, my daughter's school, they don't talk about Muslim. They talk about they do like they talk about a lot of Christianity and things like that. And then I always
Yeah.
tell her that I say, mommy's
Uh,
Muslim, yeah. And then she say, yes, I know mommy Muslim. And then when I'm praying, she comes and pray with me sometime. And
mhm,
then she knows her dad is Christian, but it's not like a
mhm,
practice. He doesn't practice, but he is. And
mhm,
so we try to teach her both culture at the same time, and she loved learning both culture because when it comes to my celebration like Eid and things like that, she will do everything. She will
mhm,
do and respect she will do everything I'm supposed to do as a Muslim person
mhm,
in those days. And then when she goes to school, she will tell them. So I like that part that she will go and tell them her teachers, her friends about my culture that I'm teaching her. And also,
yeah.
even in school, she tell them and she, oh, I don't eat pork because mom is Muslim. That's how she
Mhm,
says. She doesn't say she's Muslim. She say mom is Muslim. Because
mhm.
I think maybe the reason why she says something like that because she doesn't know if she wants to be Muslim or she wants to take on her dad's side.
Oh yeah,
So she
but
said
she's
mom is
open.
Muslim.
She's open to that,
Yeah.
to that,
So
to that diversity of culture. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
That's beautiful. What did you learn from your journey coming from West Africa and as a teenager almost, and then integrating here, going through that, being who you are today? You didn't speak any single word in English, but now you're speaking fluent English. So,
Yeah.
and all that journey, summarize it, tell me what you learned from it.
Oh my God. I what I learned is that I'm a very strong person inside.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a very strong person. And also I learned that I could be anything I want. I
Mm-hmm.
could make I could choose how I want my life to be. I could choose the
Yes.
way I want to live my life. And then
Mm-hmm.
I could choose what I want to do
Mm-hmm.
without I could make those decisions for myself. And it just that is a big step for me personally. I don't know about other people. Personally, that is a big step for me. And then also I learned how to respect. I learned how to respect people, different culture around me, because there's
Mm-hmm.
lots of different cultures around us in the UK and in Wales here. So I learned that
Right.
every culture is different, and it's good to learn. It's good to ask how this
Mm-hmm.
is done, how you guys live your life, how you guys do things in your day-to-day life. So
Mm-hmm.
I learned that, and I learned to be patient, which is
Mm-hmm.
that is a big thing for me. I learned to be patient, and also I learned more kindness. I see lots of kindness in the beginning when I came here. Like
Mm-hmm.
people. you see bits and bits of people that like kindness around you. Like when you're young, you got these fresh eyes, you see things, and you don't think of them until one day you just said, oh my God, I seen this thing, and then you just I these are the things I learned when I came to this country. It just there are good and bad things, but you just see the good thing and then focus on that, you know. So focus on that, and then I just learned to be independent. Like for me, it's a big thing, my independence, and then my freedom to speak my mind. Which for me, that those are things I learned for myself when I came to this country. Speak for myself more.
Yeah, I love that, really, speaking your mind and speaking for yourself. And again, because we travel with our culture wherever we go,
Oh
we
yeah.
take our culture along with us. But is it also important to unlearn certain cultures?
I think I did well because I'm not because I know some friends that they only see their friends from the same country, and then for me, I got all these mixed race friends,
Yeah,
mixed every
that
different culture,
diversity of
so which is
of
big difference.
culture. So, Binta, as we are talking, probably there's someone maybe new here or somebody who has been here for years but never been able to integrate. What can you tell those people maybe who are not able to even, there's some people who can't even try to learn something new because they still in their mind they're still in their country but they live in the UK, wherever they are, but they don't want to integrate. Maybe they don't know how to integrate because really the way you integrated so well, and I think it's something that people would learn from. So what have you got to tell them?
I
What could
think
be the best tip?
I think the first, if they got children, they should like get involved a lot with their children's school. That's one thing that you
Yeah.
could do more integration, and also work
Mm-hmm.
with their community. You know, comes and then tell them, yes, I'm from this country. This is me and my family. You know, start with the community, and then from there start making small friends from different culture, because that's how
Yeah.
you integrate. You start making one friend from different country, and then you start making another friend and another friend. I know it's not easy. It's not easy for everybody to make friends. It's still to the days, even for me, it's difficult to make friends. But when I make friends, I'm trying to keep that friendship going because I think we both benefit in that friendship because I'm learning something from that person and the person learning something from me, you know.
Yeah.
So I think people should start with their community, you know, where they live, so find where people meet up, where the community meet up, or like or do some voluntary somewhere, or maybe
Yeah.
if they're working somewhere where they are working, they could start making friends there and just start building their friendship and building that community of friends, because that's where it started. I was going to school, so that's where I started making friends from different countries. We both tried to speak the same language, that was English. So we start making friends, we start helping each other, or you know, stuff like that. Because people in this country, they're nice, they are nice and kind. They will help you to integrate if you're willing to do that. They will definitely do it. But because I was willing to integrate, I was willing to go a place where it make me uncomfortable, but in the long I'm the one who's gonna like have an advantage of that, because this is not my country. I'm gonna speak more English. I'm gonna learn how to speak more English. I'm gonna make friends who will be there for me. I'm gonna make friends who's gonna teach me things, who's gonna show me things. So it's the same thing. It's like when I moved to Kefile here from Cardiff. I know it's not that far, but I didn't know anybody in Cardiff. But I start making friends at work, and then I start asking where can I get a nursery for my kids. They were very helpful. Everything I asked, they're very helpful people. And that really touched me, that they welcomed me in their community so well. I didn't have to worry about anything. I didn't have to, every time there's something that I want to know in where I live or where I'm gonna take my kids, all I have to do is ask and ask. And when I ask, they help me. They're there to give me the answer. Or if they don't know, they will say, I'll find out for you and then I'll let you know. That's how you build friendship. That's how you build community, because this is a country where everybody can be themselves, regardless what language you speak, regardless what culture you are. As long as you try to integrate, as long as you try to have to take your culture and their culture and then put it together, not combine them, but like respect each other's culture, you could both live peacefully. That's
Yes,
the
of
main thing,
course.
I think.
Yeah, that's a very, very important advice.
Yeah.
So, guys, ask for information, integrate well, do some voluntary work in the community,
Yeah.
and just be like Binta. Binta, thank you so, so much
Oh, thank you for having me.
for
I like having a chat.
see you soon.
It was a great conversation. Hopefully, people gonna subscribe and then they wanna listen and they give their opinion how they integrate too in the country, in this country when they came
Yeah,
for the
please
first time.
leave
It
a
would
comment
be nice
below.
to
Tell us
get
how
some
you
feedback
integrated.
and then get some more
Yeah,
story.
yeah, please give us a feedback and let us know the exciting topic that you think we should bring next time.
Yes.
It's me here in Binta. That would be lovely to hear your comments and what you want us to talk about next time. So thank you so much, Binta. See you next time.
Thank you for having me. Have a nice week, okay? And I'll speak to you soon. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.